Only God can judge me. That right? Only God, baby. Nobody else. Nobody else. All you other motherfuckers, get out of my business. Really?
What's going on, KTF family? You already know what it is. And if you don't, it's your boy Preston, aka Preston, aka P. You already know you gotta break it down and hold it. Back with another reaction video. And today reacting to why Sasha Banks tried to quit WWE. So without further ado, let's get to this Simon Miller shit, bro. See what he talking about.
Sasha Banks allegedly wants to leave the WWE. It's all over the internet today, including in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter. And when you look at all the facts, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. Apparently coming to a head over WrestleMania weekend when Sasha Banks did indeed find out that her and Bayley were going to lose the Women's Tag Team Championships to the Iconics. She had enough. Maybe
Iconics! Hey, Sasha Banks was mad as hell, dude. She was mad as hell.
there was some kind of tete-a-tete behind the scenes, and now she's gone on holiday to try and cool down before WWE and Sasha Banks herself make a decision about her immediate future. Now, full transparency for you, we actually did this video yesterday, but overnight when I woke up, I saw the information. Oh wow, look, now people are specifically saying that Sasha Banks wants to get out of the company altogether. So I re-recorded the intro, but don't worry, there's still plenty of good stuff in the main bit, which we'll get to after I say these iconic words. Sasha Banks, she ain't happy with WWE. She may want to leave WWE. Why? Here's why.
Bro, imagine if Sasha Banks actually did leave WWE and went to AEW. Bro. Easy. She at the top of the mountain. Easy. That's a come up for AEW. If this is true, if Sasha Banks really do one out and she gets that shit granted, AEW, y'all better hop on that. Imagine if they got Dean Ambrose too.
Clap your head. The first real eye-opener for this, as I said, was that we got to the Raw after the Show of Shows in 2019 and Sasha Banks wasn't used. Now that kind of doesn't make sense given that she lost her tag team championship with her tag team partner Bayley, and Bayley was there. We all saw what Bayley was doing. She took on Alexa Bliss and lost pretty easily.
Hey, do y'all like that WWE? They don't have that the rematch clause no more after somebody lose their title. Y'all fuck with that? I don't know how I feel about that shit yet, man.
I'm sure she could have used the assistance of her friend. And I'm sure if that had just...
Actually, I kind of do agree with it. You know what I'm saying? When you lose, you at the back of the line. I agree with that shit, man.
come and gone without anything else we would barely have noticed. As I've already said, there's a lot of other stuff that has come down the well, and all of a sudden everybody's eyebrows are raised as we're trying to figure out A, what's going on with Sasha Banks, and B, more importantly, if she's doing all right. As ever, it's always hard to know in 2019 what is reality and what is fiction when it comes to a social media angle. Sometimes
Facts.
WWE does do it very well, and we're all sat around shrugging our shoulders going, well, I'm not sure if I'm meant to buy into this, or if I've stumbled across something real. For example, Alexa Bliss blocked Sasha Banks this week, and I understand that's the equivalent of a child saying that.
Bro, I feel like Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss, I feel like they've been having heat for a minute, bro. What's been going on between them? What's been going on?
Person took my Pop-Tart, but still there's no smoke without fire, and there's a lot of damn smoke, and there's a lot of damn fire. And what I mean by that is this, because this is a post from Sasha Banks' own social media accounts, where she recently said, due to personal reasons, I had to pull out of my appearance today on Wendy Williams, as we talked about. Sorry to everyone who was looking forward to it. Hopefully the opportunity will be there again later. Hashtag, this is the interesting bit, if only you knew. And then in an even longer tweet, which she used using the Note app, and you take a picture of it, you've seen it, she said, I'm going to tell you the whole thing, and I'll explain why in a second, there is something about the way life happens today that makes it hard to look ahead. There are things that make it difficult to laugh, difficult to live the way you want. There are things that make it almost impossible to trust where we are or to believe in where you want to be. You look around and life is happening way too fast. Sometimes it feels like the moments are gone. Everything happens all at once and right away. We're marching towards a destiny we cannot understand, towards the kingdom of convenience. Then one day you look up and you can't find the meaning. Your crisis of purpose and passion is acting up, but they tell you that's supposed to be normal. Well, I don't want to be normal. I want magic, because that's the place that feels like home. That's the place where I remember what dreams look like, where meaning is effortless and purpose is simple. That's the place where love still matters. I want the feeling of coming home again. I want to feel like myself. I want that magic. Now I did.
And it sucks that this is happening to Sasha Banks, just because y'all know how much love Sasha Banks has for the business. You know what I'm saying? Just for professional wrestling. If you don't believe me, shit, if you don't even know, just watch her interviews. She loved wrestling, man. She loved wrestling. She's a real legit fan. It sucks it's happening to her, because there's a lot of wrestlers on the roster that's just doing this shit to get a paycheck. They heart not in it, bro. They not even a real wrestler. They're a good performer. Man, sucks to be Sasha, man.
Did indeed read all of that out, because I want you to have it in the best possible context, because now we throw in some more rumour and innuendo that apparently there was some kind of backstage incident before Raw and Sasha Banks was told that she was allowed to go home. Now, I have no idea how much truth there is in that, and we know what people do on the internet nowadays. They just pull facts out of their ass and pretend they're true. But when you start pushing it all together as the two hands of power get closer and closer, for me at least, I start to worry just a little bit about Sasha Banks. I'm not trying to sound like her mum or anything like that, but when it comes to any kind of performer and their mental health, I just want everybody to be all right. Understand I can't affect that, I can't do much, but I can send a bunch of positive vibes out of the universe and see what comes back. There was even more stuff that suggested it was meant to be Alexa Bliss taking on Sasha Banks and Bayley, and how that would work, I don't know, because Sasha Banks and Bayley up to this point have been put to the baby faces, and Alexa Bliss is most certainly a heel. There you go. That is the information that is leaking out, and who knows exactly what it means, but I feel like something is here. Throw in that if you're on a new hashtag that Beth Phoenix started earlier in the day, meaning Sasha Banks' post came after this. At least for my money, you got to imagine something happened away from the cameras, and they're hinting at it, but why they're doing that, we do not know. And don't forget, remember this, being a WWE superstar isn't all peaches and cream. I know it's a dream for loads of people and they work hard to get there, but it's a mental struggle too, and if something clicks or something breaks or something just becomes too much, you're always walking on this kind of line. It's like a tightrope. And if it is true...
And they be saying that shit in interviews too, man. When you do one thing, yo, heat in WWE, that shit can last for years. It's sad, but it's true. You do one fucking thing, you do one wrong thing, you disrespect one person, and that could ruin your whole career. So many people fall victim to that shit, bro. So many people. It's sad.
True that she's not happy and finally something gave, it wouldn't be the most shocking revelation in the world. If you followed Sasha Banks ever since she was called up from NXT to Raw or SmackDown, she hasn't exactly been given a fair crack of the whip, or at least every time she got quite close to it, it was then taken away from her. Throw it.
I'll say this. When Sasha Banks first came to, up from NXT, she was a heel. You know what I'm saying? I remember her cutting all these great promos on the Bella Twins and a lot of the current divas that have been there for a while. And she was doing good. I feel like WWE, they made a mistake by making her a babyface. I felt like she wasn't as genuine when she was a heel. But then again, Sasha Banks, a lot of the promos that she cut when she was a babyface, like I said, it just didn't come off as genuine. It felt forced. And I felt like we just couldn't connect with her as much when she was a heel. You know what I mean? Just go back and watch her heel promos when she was with Team Bad or whatever, and then watch her babyface promos. But I can't say she didn't have opportunity though, because how many times did she win the Raw Women's Championship? How many times? And what messed her up too, because she kept getting injured. And that kept pissing Vince McMahon off. You know? What if you was Bill Belichick, right? And Tom Brady, best quarterback in the league, right? Kept fucking getting injured. That shit would piss you off. She had opportunity.
That an interview she did back in January of this year, that's only a few months ago, she admitted that if any woman headlined WrestleMania before she did, she'd struggle with it greatly. And there's some more stuff for you to ponder on. She even said, and I quote, "If somebody else does that, it will break my heart." I understand, I get it. You got to dream, and you got to dream big, but if you don't make it, that takes a long time.
And it sucks too because Becky Lynch just got hot out of nowhere. And she came up and she took that spot, man. And Ronda Rousey, she just been here for like a year. And she took that spot, man. For Charlotte, it was well deserved. I say that all the time. Charlotte Flair is the Tom Brady of the women's division. I'll say that. But Ronda, just being here for a year, Becky Lynch all of a sudden got hot. It do kind of suck, man. It's unfortunate.
To come to terms with. So that does all seem quite cut and dry. And at this point, let's throw in all those title reigns that she did have and how none of them really lasted a long time. I mean, that came a gag on WWE TV for a while, especially from the likes of Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, who would say, "Don't worry how long you're going to hold that belt. Even if you hold it for X amount of days, at least you'll have done better."
Hey, it's so funny though when Corey Graves be roasting Sasha Banks. That shit be funny as hell. Cause everything he say be true. Corey Graves the guy, man. He out here.
Before and now, that's kind of carried on with the tag team titles. Because what, they won it in January, they lost it early April, they barely even had them 3 months. All of this could have added up and led into what has happened. And even though, again, we don't know for sure, and we are just speculating here as friends, there's a trail, there's a paper trail. You can follow that trail, and it feels kind of solid. It's quite clear that Banks does think that she should be used higher up the card. And again, if you go back to everything that she was doing down in Florida in developmental or in NXT, I think there's an argument. I think there's a case for that, especially again because ever since she's been on Raw and SmackDown, it's not like she's lit up the world. I mean, she has opportunities. She has been given the ball from time to time. She was part of the first ever women's Hell in a Cell, but those short title runs and never been put in a proper top position is going to wear you down, especially if you're Sasha Banks, where number 2 just isn't going to cut it. You want to be number 1, you want to be on top, and if you're not, you're going to bust your ass trying to get there. If somebody keeps pushing you down, it's like a pressure cooker.
Talk that shit. It sucks too because when Sasha Banks, when she finally did feel like she was going to get a breakthrough by winning the first ever women tag team championships, you were going to be featured on Raw, on SmackDown, on NXT. You was everywhere. And then as soon as you got it, they took it away just like that. That sucks, man. That sucks. And you was the one that was pushing for the title to come along. And then you lost it at WrestleMania. I feel for her, man. I feel for her.
Even if she hadn't left this week for whatever reasons they may be, I think you could already argue that probably the WWE and Sasha Banks don't have the greatest relationship. I mean, she was on Twitter a few months ago when the Revival were threatening to leave and actively said, she quote tweeted them, and the paraphrasing here, but she said, "Look, if you do go, please take me with you." And
I remember that.
Social media, I still can't get over, I still can't believe the amount of hate and vitriol Banks gets when she makes a mistake in the ring. We're all humans, we all screw up, and trust me, if Sasha Banks goes to do a springboard off the ropes and slips, nobody is going to beat themselves up more than Sasha. The last thing she needs is a bunch of people telling her that, especially when she didn't do it on purpose. I personally think, on a slight tangent, that we could absolutely give wrestlers a bit of a break. No one goes in there wanting to stink up the joint. They're all trying their best, and you can critique it, and you can offer your own criticism, that's fine, but when you go on the offensive, I don't think that's cool. And what's even worse than that is when the likes of the Good Brothers and Dash and Dawson are hinting that they want to leave, we all get behind them, we say, "Good for you, you stand up for yourself." And I've seen this happen. When Sasha Banks does it, all of a sudden it's more of a case of, you should be happy with what you've got, you should stop complaining. In fact, we do that to Naomi too. That ain't balanced, pals. That ain't balanced. Where all this madness is going, I don't know. But again, first and foremost, I just hope that Sasha Banks is doing okay. I mean, WWE actually showed a lot of compassion for Lars Sullivan. He obviously came back this week after apparently suffering
Fucking Gene Snitsky 2.0. Let me stop.
A similar kind of episode where he suffered an anxiety or an apprehension attack, and those kind of things do need to be taken into the equation, especially
Facts.
once again when you're doing the kind of schedule that a WWE superstar does. For example, all the What Culture guys, we've just come back from WrestleMania, and of course we're tired and we're worn out, even though we were doing something we absolutely love. But if somebody walked in right now and said, Miller, you're a bald buffoon, usually I'd laugh it off and scare them away. This time I may shed a little tear and just go over there and lay down and try and get over this horrible ordeal. And I wake up tomorrow and go, oh man, I over-exaggerated that. Sometimes when you plant the seed in your brain, it takes a little while before things settle back down. So keep an eye out, and let's hope that when we do get to next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or within a month, Sasha Banks can just come back to TV and keep doing what she loves to do. It's all about passion, it's all about emotion, it's all about feeling, and if Banks has lost that relationship with the company known as WWE, maybe she leaves and maybe she goes somewhere else. I know where she would fit in really well, AEW. They are pushing that division to the moon, and I can actually see Sasha Banks sitting on top of it all.
Bro, I just said that shit. And then they just got a TV deal too? I don't know, man. Got a TV deal in October. Sasha Banks won out. Dean Ambrose just left. Who knows? I know CM Punk. I know he said he done wrestling. But shit. Anything's possible, dude. AEW looking like it's about to be legit, man.
Given the likes of Gallows and Anderson have turned down massive contracts because they seemingly want to leave in September to do their own thing, you have to imagine that eventually rolls downhill. Ty Dillinger's gone. Is Sasha Banks going to be the next one? Like Dean Ambrose, he's out the door. We'll find out what he's doing soon. It's going to be a very interesting 2019
Facts.
in the world of professional wrestling. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us...
All right, I'll leave it there. My thing was, I mean, if Sasha Banks is wanting to leave, man, my question is, how long was they planning on keeping the tag team titles on the Iconics? You know? That was pretty much your idea. And you was going to be featured on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. You was going to be everywhere. At first, you was complaining about not being used, but now you about to be used a lot, you know? And even with the roster shaking, even with the roster shake about to happen, that wouldn't even affect you, you know, since you're going after the tag team championships. But I mean, you got to follow your heart, dude. And I feel like Sasha Banks, she at her breaking point, and it's like enough's enough. You know, I feel for her, and hopefully they can work something out. You know, hopefully they can do something, bro. But if they are about to combine the women's world titles together, it's gonna be a lot harder to get that #1 spot. You know. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens, man. But let me know what you think about this video in the comments down below. If you're new here, welcome to the pack. If not, you already know what it is, bro. It's your boy, Preston. As always, let me keep the faith. Until next time. Peace.
Against all odds, hoping my true motherfuckers know this be the realest shit I ever wrote. Against all odds, up in the studio, getting blowed. The truest shit I ever